I'm Brian from HyprMX, and we're here at Pocket Gamer Connects London 2025. And I'm joined by David Sigal from Plarium Games. Thanks so much for being here.
My pleasure.
So can you give us a brief intro about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So my name is David, and ever since I was a kid, I dreamt about working in games. And I would say around 2009, I started working in edutainment apps and games. And fast forward to 2021, Plarium recruited me to work in ad monetization. I was already working on audio ads at an electronic music streaming company called the.fm, and here I am.
So tell us about 2024. What were some key takeaways?
That was, I think in one word, it was a robust year with Google's regulations centered around privacy for companies dealing with European users. And I think we're all working with European users. With that being said, I think we've seen a lot of shifts with AppLovin skyrocketing, their market cap growing 700%, with Zynga selling Chartboost to LoopMe. Interesting to see what happens with that. Moloko SDK coming out, more and more publishers adopting it, and I think we'll see that continuing in 2025.
Yeah, a lot of exciting stuff in the last year, including the acquisition in, I guess it was November, just a few months ago.
Yeah.
So can you tell us about the acquisition from Modern Time Games and what you expect to see in terms of synergies with their business?
Well, unfortunately, the transition is still ongoing. Actually, unfortunately, the transition is still ongoing, so I'm not at liberty to talk much about it. But I can tell you that many people know Plarium as a company behind Raid Shadow Legends, and we take great pride in our game. And Raid is a very successful title of ours. But Plarium is much bigger than just Raid. We have a number of studios globally working on casual and mid-core titles, and I think it's a very we're very happy with the direction where we're headed, and Plarium I think is in good hands with MTG.
That's great. So given your responsibilities in ad monetization, what does a typical day look like for you?
Well, being in charge of ad monetization gives me exposure to a lot of internal and external stakeholders. So I interact a lot with legal teams, with business analysts, with research, with marketing, and externally working with mediations, working with networks, talking to other publishers. Quite enjoy catching up with other publishers, big and small, and I do it on an ongoing basis. I think in our industry, most of us kind of like know each other. Like Madmon is a very small niche, but we have similar issues, and we're enjoying, sharing knowledge with each other.
And just in terms of trends, like what trends are you seeing in terms of mobile gaming, and how do you look at the market currently?
I would say that hybrid monetization is a big thing, and I'm seeing it being adopted from both sides, from titles that were IP exclusive, adopting ad monetization, and ad-only titles moving towards IP, so I think we're going to see that converging. Also, just there's no way around it. AI is entering everywhere. I'm curious to see how many times the word was used on PGC. Definitely, there's going to be much more of that. I think people are also looking at extending to outside platforms. From traditionally just being on iOS and Android, trying to break that mold and go elsewhere. Try things with PC, try things with web stores.
And what can we expect from Plarium this year in 2025?
Plarium is going to continue growing with our current titles, and you can expect to see new titles coming out this year and going forward.
That's great. Well, thanks so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you, Brian.
Thanks.